Hello, everybody. I've been making a lot of videos about intimate relationships and um, finding love and all that sort of stuff. But I thought today I'd do something completely different. And I want to talk about friends because a lot of people have been talking about the fact that at the moment they're not in a toxic relationship, but they're having problems in other parts of their lives. So I thought I'd hone in on this so that it might help those who are experiencing dysfunctional relationships, toxicity in other areas of their life. So let's talk about friends. So have you ever had that friend who only ever calls you when something's happened in their life and they just need to vent, but they never ever ask you how you are? You know the kind I'm talking about. Or, like they've been dumped or they're going through a divorce and they phone you up when you haven't heard from them like forever. And you pick up the phone and you ask how they are and they just go, ugh. And you just know at that point that you're in for an hour-long monologue of all of their dramas, and they just cry and they pour their hearts out to you, and you literally say nothing the whole phone call because it's all about them and they never even bother to ask about you. Do you know the type I'm talking about? And then at the end of it, they go, oh, great, thanks. I feel so much better now. I've got to run. Bye, click and hang up. And you've not said anything, literally. Or the sort of friend that if you haven't spoken in a while, you call them and go, sorry, I haven't called, trying to sort of bridge the gap between that awkwardness about the fact that you guys haven't talked for a long time. And you explain the genuine reason why you haven't called in a long time. It's something really bad that's happened in your life, and that's why you haven't called. And they just skip over that straight to the part about how their life, aka drama, has been 10 times worse than that you've just been through, and guilt trip you into feeling like you abandoned them because you haven't called them at their time of greatest need. Have you ever had that? Like, seriously. Or what about the friends who just dump all their trauma onto you, but when you need them most and you reach out to them saying, I really need to talk because I'm really upset about something or whatever, they then tell you you're such a drama queen and move on, right along, nothing to see here. Or what about the friend that just controls everything? The one who asks you where you'd like to meet up and when, and then completely dismisses your idea and maneuvers it around to the fact that it's going to be exactly the time that she wants it to be and exactly where she wants it to be, and usually closest to her home than yours. And you're the one who's got to go an hour to her. Do you know what I mean? I've had many women say that they've experienced friends like that, and where they just feel completely like they're giving and giving and giving all the time. And at the end of it, they feel like they've been put through a ringer and are completely emotionally exhausted at the end. And what many of us don't realize is that, dysfunctional relationships, even toxic ones, don't just happen. They're not just confined to intimate relationships. They can happen anywhere in your life. Friends, family, workplace, whatever, you name it. I've had loads of bullies in my life, particularly in my career. And, the guys who like mansplained and belittled me and got me to do all their mundane work that they were supposed to do, that was bullying. Or the woman who stole my idea for a television series, and then when it was a massive success, took all the glory and credit for it. I've had, the boss who refused to match my salary to a man that I actually brought into the company £3 million more than, you name it. Oh, I had one woman say to me the other day that she was flattered to join her building committee. So in her apartment block, they have the committee, and she was flattered into running the committee. But what happened was she then was bullied to do all of the work, after which, when she'd done it, all of the rest of the committee just would criticize her for it, how badly she'd done it, and tear her down for it. You know, that is bullying. So dysfunctional and toxic relationships can absolutely happen anywhere. And it took me a long time to realize this, because I sort of thought, you know, because it was pretty clear cut being in an abusive relationship with a violent man who almost murdered me. I mean, how clear cut can you get? I could see it for what it was, that was abuse. And when I healed it, I thought, I'm good now, you know. But what happened was I still attracted bullies who tried it on me. And I'd thought, I've healed, I've moved on from my abusive, toxic relationship with my ex. I sorted my love life out, went on to find a really great man who I'm married to now. So I thought I was good. But then I started it was happening elsewhere, outside of my love life. I was starting to attract bullies all the time, and being just taken advantage of over and over again. And I'd give and give, and others just seemed to take, you know, until I realized it's the same toxic pattern. It's just in a different form. I'd put their needs first, above and at the expense of my own. And I was still people pleasing. And I kept trying to prove myself at work, but I had that imposter syndrome where nothing I ever accomplished ever felt good enough. So I still had clearly a way to go at healing these dysfunctional patterns within me, you know. And what I realized was that nothing in your life will ever exceed how you feel about yourself. So whether that's your romantic relationships, whether that's your relationships within your family, within your friend circle, in your workplace, if you have a low sense of self-worth and very low boundaries, well, guess what you're going to attract? You're going to attract people who are going to push them down and treat you as worthless, walk all over you, treat you like a doormat. And that can happen everywhere, you know, and you will just keep getting taken advantage of. Even people on the street will pick up on that, you know, and you can find it anywhere. So I just want to make it clear, because some women say to me, I'm not in a relationship at the moment, but I've got all these other things happening in my life. And I say, it's actually the same thing. It's the same thing, what you are emanating out. And this is not to victim blame, but you do attract this sort of stuff to you. And so what I say is, you know, as I always say, when I left an abusive relationship, I thought that was the end of it all, but it actually was just the beginning of me healing. Just about healing from a toxic relationship with an intimate partner. It's about fully healing you, because until you do, it's going to manifest in every area of your life. You know, that being taken advantage of, that, you know, not feeling you can trust again because it keeps happening to you over and over and over again, and being bullied at work, or that people pleasing where you fear what others are going to think of you. So you keep trying to prove more at work, do more at work, people please at work, so that you, you know, because you fear that you're going to be, of how you're going to be judged. So I hope that makes sense, because it really doesn't have to just be in intimate relationships. So let me know in the comments below if you're still experiencing that sort of toxic behavior. It can be, you know, you could still have toxic friends. you know, it's really weird that when I healed my life, actually one of my clients, Christy Lynn, she's had such a dramatic transformation working with me. And if you look in, if you're on YouTube, you can look in the playlist called Testimonials, or if you're in my Facebook group, you can also look in the units, which is about client testimonials. Christy Lynn found that when she started to heal, and after working with me, she's now realized that a lot of her friends are toxic and really take advantage of her. And she used to let them walk all over her and let them put their selves first above her. So she's now removing everybody toxic from her life, because she realizes if she's going to heal, she's got to heal on every level, not just in relationships, but friendships as well. And I had to do the same. You know, it's quite common that when you leave an abusive relationship and you start to heal, you end up losing a lot of friends, because you realize that your relationship with them is unequal as well. And you always come away from that friendship feeling drained, emotionally exhausted, like you've given everything and they've not given back in return. So I hope that's helpful. And I'll stop. I'm sort of rambling now. Sorry. I hope it's helped, that you can see that it's about fully healing you in every area of your life. And if you are still finding that you're having some toxicity in friendships, relationships with your relatives, in the workplace, even with people you just meet, then it's saying to me that you haven't fully healed. And until you do, you will just keep being targeted by bullies. You'll be taken advantage of. You'll be walked all over. All right. So let me know in the comments below if that is happening to you. And because I'd love to hear your stories, and I'd love you to realize that it's not just about romantic relationships. All right. I'll leave it at that for now, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.